Guys, I don't know how to show you this, but I want to show you this before it disappears. But I've had this thing on my nose right there. You guys see it? Yeah, there we go. I think I got it really good right there. It's not a pimple. And that started showing up like a dozen years ago, I think, right around in there. And that thing was so big and dark. And there was one right here behind it. See that little one right above it? See that big one? And then that little one? Okay, so the reason I'm pointing this out, because it's almost gone and I've been wanting to do a video on it. And so, I'm home, I'm just calm, I'm relaxed, I got everything done, I'm ready. I'm ready to crash if I need to. It's only like 10 minutes after 6 right now. So, just taking care of myself constantly, taking care of myself. I'm completely available to my younger self that needs it, but I was just getting in tune with him, and I was laughing because I was like, man, he's kicking ass. Because when I had told him about, what was I just thinking about downstairs? Oh, when I had told him, I said, in the Wizard of Oz and the and the old man behind the curtain, and they all find out that he was the one, making all the noise and causing all the chaos. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And he's like, no. I was like, yeah. I said, all these things that seem big and bad and are scary. I said, they're nothing. I said, you're the most powerful thing, and just remember that. And, just, yeah, but that was the most real, that was the realest, most honest experience I've ever had in my life. It's still, that was a big breakthrough, and I'm still yet to see, everything that comes with that. I've been checking in with my younger self throughout the day while I was out on the roof, and just letting them know I'm there and I'm available, and I'm here. And it feels like, your joint, like imagine like in your joint that goes like this and can go sideways, and right. And then, you get arthritis because you get catharsis in it, or, it's like plaque built up in your joint, right? Like you die inside. Your cartilage and everything just shrivels up and dies because it's not getting nutrified. It's not getting what it needs. You got to imagine, you've been living your whole life on, fast food or all these animal flesh or all these other things that are, your cell has been making these parts out, because your body renews every year. It's like every year, every part of your body is brand new. And so, if your cells, that's what they're working with to build your new body with, you got to imagine why that happens. It's using trash, and that's why at 40, 50, 60 years old, people got such bad arthritis and their hands are just like this, and frozen up. But anyways, so it feels like that. It feels like, making that breakthrough, it feels like what it did was, I guess, just a conglomeration. I mean, really, it's still a lot to take in and completely process. It could be a conglomeration with that and the breakthrough there with the childhood, and then as well, just realizing how the whole, like, it's almost like it unlocked, like, I can visualize, and it's not even like it's weird, but you just see it, you can see it, and it's so real. And I guess that's what happens when, being cleaned out and cleaning all this biofilm out. And then, like I said, I got to show you guys, so this is good evidence. So just in the past 2 weeks, when that happened to me, and I started going heavy on this so it's been less than 2 weeks. It's been like 10 days, I think. I can't remember. Maybe it has been 2 weeks. But, it was within 2 days of doing the heavier detox that I did right at 3 days, started right 3 days, I think, before the full moon. Again, I'm going to get that whole video together for y'all, so that way you can get an idea of my process of what I'm doing, and how it's working to help me clean things out, to realize how much further I have to clean shit out. I mean, I've already gotten into a few different things like detox patches for your feet, and that I want to show you guys. And it's crazy. I mean, because you realize, wow, well, like I said with my tongue last night, it was just like, God damn, so this stuff's like trying to get out through anything. I mean, my ears are constantly, ringing. God damn, my ears. I don't think they've ringed today. Maybe, no, they were ringing this morning like crazy. But, I get out of the house and it's a lot better. But yeah, when I'm in the house, oh my God, my ears ring the whole time I'm in the house usually. But no, today's been, they were ringing this morning, but they're not ringing now, so that's nice. And I've been getting migraines every night, which means I got to take a acetaminophen, because I mean, if my migraine gets too bad, I can't do anything the next day. I'm functionally unable, especially already being down and trying to get healthy again. So yeah, no, what this is, guys, this is called a papilloma. I never knew what it was. Like when I first got the first one, like a dozen years ago, right? And this second one was bigger than that one 2 weeks ago. So that smaller one up there, wherever it's even at, it's almost gone. That's why I've been trying to do this video. That smaller one right there was a lot bigger than that one right there 2 weeks ago. And this one was, much bigger. And it's been there for a dozen years. That one's been there. I think that one started popping up like 2 years ago or so, right? And man, within the 2 weeks. So that's just, I just want to show you guys, if you have skin tags is the same thing. I found out my dry skin. So I've become real connected with where my dry skin was coming from. And it's definitely a bacterial or heavy metal toxicity issue. So, because it was directly related when I went down the other day, it was right prior to that and everything else. You can feel when you're getting attacked by these things and taking over, and they're throwing up and doing whatever they're doing and releasing their toxins into your system, and that biofilm and everything else is just, and it's like a whirlwind of chaos and toxicity. I lost my train of thought, but yeah, so this is called a papilloma. Like a dozen years when I got that one, I tried. It never popped. I never got anything out of it. I'm like, what the fuck? And then that one came up like 2 years ago, and it got worse, bigger, and they both were getting bigger. So that is where they parked themselves. So if you have those anywhere on your body, you can get them anywhere on your body. Skin tags are the same thing. If you have skin tags, the dry skin, the bad breath, the, oral hygiene is so fucking important. And that's the other thing I want to do in that video, is I want to show you guys what's been going on. I got things that is coming out of my mouth and out of my teeth that I've never. It's like, wow, I've always had perfect teeth and everything. My teeth look like they're going to fall out of my head right now. So, maybe I should show you guys. See all that dark, nasty stuff? I don't know what it looks like on. I never had that. I see that? Looks like my teeth falling out. And it's not severe. But it's there, and it's not so much on the top. But you can see that buildup, that tartar, that plaque. That wasn't even there. So what I'm trying to say is, it's pulling it out of my mouth. Like I've been doing that. Man, let me go ahead and show you guys this. If I can just start getting this out here for y'all. I've been doing the hydrogen peroxide, man. Every night before bed. I should probably be doing it in the morning too, but I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make myself sick again. I realize I have
I got a ways to go, and I think I did a pretty damn good job with this parasite detox this last time. So I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys. But I think it's hard to tell, but I've got a lot of heavy metals that are coming out of my system right now, and that's the black tongue. That's a few other things I'm dealing with, but this was $1. This is 32 ounces. It's huge. It's a big bottle, for $1. But it's just regular hydrogen peroxide. See, topical solution, first aid antiseptic, oral debri- de- debr- oral debriding agent. So it's meant for doing mouthwash, and it's active ingredient hydrogen peroxide 3%. So you should be able to find it at your. I got that at Walmart, I think, for $1. I got 2 bottles of it. But I've been doing that, and then dude, guys, this is my other. So this is my other oral hygiene trick is cloves. Oh man, these things are badass. So between this and the hydrogen peroxide, and I've been on natural toothpaste for like fucking 20 years. But I finally switched up to a bamboo. Uh, I finally switched up to a bamboo toothbrush, uh, and I'm only using bottled spring water from Berkeley Springs right here. This is actually comes out of springs. I think it's not recycled. Fucking, it's actually and it's a good deal. It's 2 gallons for $3 is what we pay for at the grocery store here because it's local. But anyway, so I use spring water only on my toothbrush, and then after I'm done with it and clean it off and everything, I use I squirt it with hydrogen peroxide real quick, and then dry it off, and then put it in my. I got a bamboo cup holder or whatever, and this is important because I have to be very careful right now. Because I've come to the realization I had to humble myself and realize that oh my God, this shit was just hiding. It's been hiding inside me, and now I'm pulling it out. And right now, my hygiene is very important. Like I said, I mean, it makes no sense to me to put my bamboo toothbrush with my fucking all natural toothpaste underneath the fucking sink inside the fucking parasite, fucking heavy metal and chemical ridden bacterial water that's coming out of my tap. That makes it, so it's slowing yourself down and just, these are things we have to do, and we should be doing every day again. If you do the test, take 2 weeks and brush your teeth at night like you usually do, gargle with the hydrogen peroxide for 30 seconds, spit it out. I throw a couple cloves, like 4 or 5, 6 cloves in my mouth before bed usually. And then as soon as I wake up, before I do anything, as soon as I get out of bed, the first thing that goes in my mouth is cloves. I put 6 cloves. I realized I upped it. I was doing 4. I'm doing 6 now. Like, why not? Extremely cheap, all natural. These 2 things here are the most powerful things you can do if you want to help. If you want to pull it out of your mouth. I know there's like oil pulls and everything else. You got to research that and figure out if you want to play around with all that stuff. But these are all natural. They're extremely, extremely cheap. You can't get any cheaper than this. There's no side effects other than, like I said, I never in my life had my teeth look like they're rotting out. I mean, I really wish. See that? Oh, that's so gnarly. Fuck. It was so. See that? I never had that shit in my life, man. And all that is, and see, this is just amazing, like watching this process. To me, it is because like, all that shit's renewing. Like, your whole system is just. You're finally doing what you're supposed to be doing for your system, so your system. Oh man, I was doing my lymph, guys. Oh damn, you guys can't look. I got to come up and just show you what my regimen is and get this together for you. It'll really help you out because I'm seeing the results. Oh, and I think I started with the papilloma. Okay, so that's almost gone. I have a couple underlying issues that I haven't even told you guys about that I didn't realize were from parasites and bacteria until all this went down, and I had to, humble myself and come to realize how ridden I was with everything, even heavy metals, you know what I mean? So, you know, I want to be able to put out my regimen, and so that way you guys can see and everybody can see my progress, where I'm going, because what it felt like, so it was like a conglomeration, like I needed to do that child work to make the compound of what I've been doing physically with the cleaning out of myself and the reining in of my constantly sinking for instant gratification and comfort. And I've been quite disciplined for the past year, over a year now, and very disciplined actually, and just 100% committed, to trying to figure out and willing to humble myself and say when I was wrong. And I was definitely wrong a few months ago, even a couple months ago, or whenever, even if I just said it a month ago, that, you only need to brush your teeth once a week. Yes, that we will get there. But right now, I mean, this stuff is hiding in me. So, I could have sat there with my ego and never tried this and never, brought to fruition. See, my skin's itching right now. See, and my skin's been itching for the past, 2 weeks since I've been detoxing. And it usually just right here, right there seems to really get me, somewhere right there. You know what I mean? Where else will I get itchy at? That itch is so bad right now, I can't even picture where else I get itchy at. But that is on my hands and my arm up to like right here, definitely. But yeah, a lot of symptoms. It's so much you're dealing with that it's very hard to keep up. And that's why you have to be that committed. You have to be that disciplined. You have to take this shit seriously. Like, obviously, I just went over my toothbrush regimen. I mean, that's crazy. I never in my life would have thought I would take that shit that seriously. And I've been brushing my teeth every night before doing the hydrogen peroxide and then doing the cloves. So that's my mouth regimen every night. And in the morning, I'm just doing cloves. I haven't been doing anything else in the morning. I think that's enough to handle for now, because I woke up this morning, my tongue's still black. I might have done a video earlier and on the roof, and my tongue's still fucking black, Man. Yeah. So making lots of headway and see, I keep on forgetting. I keep on getting sidetracked. So you're that going back to the very beginning of the video. I was talking about how your joint, and then you get rigor mortis, arthritis sets in. From not doing anything, from your body having to build off McDonald's and fast food for decades, and for all the trash and the alcohol and the tobacco and the fucking toxins and everything else that you never flush out of your system. And you never do anything about it, and you just go to the doctor, take pills for it, which is stacking everything up, making super bugs out of everything, driving everything worse, making your problems in 20 years 10 times worse than they would have ever been if you properly took care of yourself. So what it feels like when that hit the conglomerate, when I connected with my 3-year-old self, 4-year-old self, right around there, 4-year-old self, last night, the energy got put on me as I was spilling out, because I was spilling out and it was just coming out. I wasn't thinking. There was no thinking process. It was like just like if these were your last words and this was the person you loved the most, and you had 30 seconds, you know what I mean? And you knew what you wanted to say. You've been waiting for this your whole life to say this. and it just came out, and then I'd have to do the vibration, because these things were trying to attack. And he was just amazed at how that vibration just made him scatter. He was laughing. He was like, and he was laughing about, I mean, he got so comfortable so quick when he saw, because he knew, he's like, I knew something was going on. I knew, and I was calling out to you because I needed you, and I knew you'd be there, and you'd come, but what took so long? And I said, look, this is what took so long. And I was just honest as fuck about everything that he needs to pay attention to. Don't ever let anybody lie to you. Call shit out. Fucking call it all out. Call everything out you see. Don't worry about grades in school. You fucking, stick to artistry and using your mind, and you think for yourself, and you do the right, what you know is right. Man, and it's just like, everything just came out so beautifully. And as I was speaking these types of words of advice you're giving to your younger self, please, begging, this is so important. I'm coming back to tell you this from 44, 45, however old I am now, I've been working on this to try to make this connection. This is the most important thing to me. And it'll be the most important thing to you when you grow up. So, you might as well start doing the right thing now before it gets too late. And, man, he was digging it. And, but as these words were coming out of me, I could feel the energy where I was holding, like, trauma, major, like emotional trauma inside, right here in my sides, and like around my hips, and then in my lower back, and then so it was just like, whoa, I mean, it was just amazing. I felt this energy. And then so after this experience, and I broke away, and then going through today, what I would say it felt like if I had arthritis throughout my body and wrapped around everything before, and making everything tight and hard to move and painful and just stiff and just tired and everything. It felt like it released, and it's no longer there. And I mean, there's still things definitely making it tighter than what it should be, but it released such a pressure that I've been dealing with for so long, and allowed a movement, like, internally, that I can feel like everything so much deeper, and like, yeah, this is your arm, but I can picture like everything, like how important, I mean, all these veins and the capillaries and your fascia and your lymphatic system working to clean everything constantly, and just, man, I finally, for the first year of my life, taking personal responsibility and making sure I'm just doing everything I can to recognize these toxins. And so I had the breakthrough today or yesterday or whenever it was, but I talked about it today on video about the putting those tools in my mouth to hold things while I'm on a roof trying to do 50 things with 20 different tools. And just taking this shit more seriously, man, and just making that difference in those choices. Like, we're always like, there's nothing else I can do. I mean, I'm waiting, I'm going to work, but yeah, there's so many things, like little things. That's what I'm trying to say. That's where this healing comes, is from just focusing on all those small things. Wherever you've hit a plateau, wherever you think you're perfected and you've detached completely, if you're stuck in other areas, it can be related to your arrogance and your ego about that, so address these things. Just take that time to yourself to just do a check, a system check, make sure everything's running properly, make sure you're thinking. Like, if you go to think about something and you can't access information, there's a problem. You're being held back from information, and you need to start being your own private investigator and go, well, what's holding that back? Is that heavy metals? Is it parasites? Well, is it bacteria? My recommendation would be, basically, when you do this detox that I'll be going through with you guys, it's basically, you're going to be cleaning all of that at the same time. You know, at least that's what I'm doing. You guys may not be like, yeah, fuck you, man. We'll take this one parasite at a time. But you know, that's just I think when you play around with it, that's when the danger happens, and I think that's what's happened to me. I think that's what's happened to a lot of us that have been in and out of hospitals our lives, that have had these bacterial issues. We've been, you know, you guys are communicating on the messages, and that's fine. You know, please do. I just can't. It's too much for me. The only thing I don't even talk to the kids. I really just need this space to just keep my space clean as possible and just free from anything else, any other stressor other than what is coming out of me that I'm trying to push away, because I see how this matrix is trying to push these things towards me. Even, and they come in gift wrapped packages, you know, like better work opportunities, more work, you know, more this, more that, you know, more money, more, you know, more bong hits, more fucking, you know, this, more that. And it's just like, wow, man, it's like, no, you know, you just have to be on point and just know that shit is what got you there in the first place, and be willing to commit to yourself and do what you got to do, man. Anything else in this one? I just wanted to get that out there because, yeah, this is disappearing. Again, papilloma, skin tags. I'm going to get the whole list together, and it's pretty much anything. If you're not operating at peak level and able to access your brain and your faculties of your mind and think as deeply as you want and go there and not be afraid to go there and come to conclusions and make your decisions and actively make the changes necessary, and you don't have a problem doing all that and dropping, you're not constantly seeking instant gratification or hiding, you know, or trying to make yourself comfortable and afraid to you know, afraid to get bugs or parasites, and you're constantly like, oh my god, and cleaning yourself and like, oh my god, you know, no, that means that you haven't healed yet, because once this thing becomes whole, nothing can touch, nothing on this earth is going to touch it. And these cocksuckers keep on trying to come up with their shit in their labs to try to fucking fuck this system up. And really, unless you are fucking really fucking it up yourself first, none of that shit can touch you. So you need to get yourself clean and take care of yourself and understand that, you know, every little thing you do matters. This is no joke. But yeah, please understand. Humble apologies. Please, that's why I don't want anybody follow me. All this is just my journey. You can see how. I mean, you can sit here and watch me and just go, "Oh my God, Richard, what? You should have been doing that months ago." You know what I mean? And like, we can all sit there and go, you know, you should have done that. Fucking, you were talking about it, you know. But I just didn't realize that they had such, with all that, I guess, all that biofilm and buildup and everything that's been coming out of me the past few months. Man, there was no access. They were just completely blocked. I kept on telling you guys, like I like the foggy headedness. Even when I could think clearly, I was still being so limited in access that it was very hard and stressful to try, and it took a lot of energy to even try to get anything out of my fucking cocksucker. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. There's so much more I want to share, but you know, I want to get it together and put it all in one video with this whole detox thing, and I think it's best not to feel rushed at this. You know, I mean, we could die. I could die tonight. You guys could die tonight. We could all be dead tomorrow. Who knows? You know, and we're at where we're at. So you know, all we can do is just what we can do. But you know, we can't sit there and just, you know, after 3 months look back and go, oh, there was absolutely no growth, you know, but my belly's happy, and man, you know, I'm pretty well entertained, and I got a nice rigorous schedule that I keep. And you know, you got to shake it up and make sure that you're not becoming apathetic to, you know, something that could be making decisions in your life for you and blocking you from progress in your journey of detaching. Because guys, there's no reason why we should be holding on to these things. I'm telling you, this shit's becoming more and more clear, and it's just like, wow, you know, my responsibility to my youngest son's becoming clear. I would like, I'm going to be getting something together for him personally, maybe for him and Tag and his cousin Tag, and maybe doing a video. I don't know. There's something, because I got to take, if I'm getting allowed access and better able to vernacularize or whatever that I know and I'm experiencing and I'm able to verbalize, just that way people can understand, especially younger people, and not, and just keep it to the basics and very simple, like with the man, even if these boys, they're so highly toxic right now, if they would just do that mouth program every day and make that a habit and start there, that would be a huge thing, because it really does. When you never had that on your teeth and then you start doing that and then you realize why, because your body is pulling those toxins out, that your ears, when you get ear infections and everything else, it's because of a buildup of the biome that they build, that's not supposed to be there, that comes from, eating just fast junk food and sugars and feeding them for years, and it causes those earaches. It causes any kind of ear issues. I've had itchy ears. My ears have been bothering me, man. I got utensils for my ears, special utensils in all my vehicles, everywhere, for years, because my ears drive me absolutely fucking nuts, and they've been ringing on and off for 12 years. And these are things that, the VA all checked out, and again, all the experts looking at me and just going, you're a liar, you're crazy, you're making it up, you need to see a shrink, you need to go get help, you need to be on pills, Oh, and that's the other thing I want to touch on, guys. Check this out. Sorry, there's some important points I want to get out here. I've realized through this research in the past 2 weeks on bacteria and parasites and heavy metals, when they put me on Paxil, when the VA put me on Paxil, and I was on Paxil, and I was begging them, I was telling them, I kept on trying to get in a meeting with this cocksucker, and he wouldn't meet with me, right? And they said no, and I said, well, I need to talk to him, because I kept on telling his secretary, whoever he was trying to liaison with me, instead of talking to me directly. He kept on, she was dealing with me, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. You don't make the decisions. I have something serious going on with my health, and I think it's related to these pills. And this was within 2 weeks, those pills made me, really was fixing things for me, right? When I was going through that huge concussion and bacterial and parasitical overgrowth, right? 10 years ago or whenever it was, 9 years ago. And I was living with my brother. And then, so the VA put me on goddamn Paxil, right? And, because, everybody else laughed at me. Everybody else in the VA medical system just laughed and laughed and laughed. And that was my final option. I couldn't, I was experiencing everything you guys see here, except for with that major fucking concussion, so I couldn't even drive. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't handle money. I couldn't, So the Paxil gave me Parkinson's, right? The Paxil gave me Parkinson's, which I found out, is because of the heavy metals and bacteria, how it reacts with Paxil. And so they give people like me that shit, and it drives us to suicide. It drives us, and all the same symptoms I was getting. Remember, I told you guys, it got so bad, and I kept on calling. And so he was telling his girl, because I was telling him, I think I need to get off, and she was telling me, oh no, I talked to him, he said you need to double your dose. And I said, oh no, fuck you. I said, no fucking way. And that's when shit started going south. So after 2 weeks, I was all of a sudden everything was getting really better. My brother's like, see, and you're right? And I'm like, yeah, something doesn't seem right. I was like, yeah, I'm better, but I feel better, I'm able to function better, but something just doesn't seem right. It seems like something's being masked, like something is not right. And I said it from the beginning. And goddamn, man, if it wasn't 4 weeks after that is when shit just went real quick, and I went, I remember I woke up one day and I was just like, man, something is wrong. And my brother was like, oh, you just got to stay on it a while. It says that you. I said, no, Jeremy. I said, it is fucking with my head bad. I said, look, I've been writing. I've been doing all this stuff. I've had perfect control over what comes out of my mouth. I said, yeah, I'm fucked up. I'm slow. But, at least I know what I'm thinking. And I said, this shit's got me fucking rolling on a different level, man. And he said, well, get a hold of your psych, and that's when it started. It was like 6 weeks after I started on it, man. And when he finally met with me on a teleconference, like I don't even know how I was able to do it. Maybe I had to go into the VA somewhere else, and I teleconferenced with the asshole. I can't remember, but I told him, I said, man, dude, this shit is fucking me up. I said, I need to how do I get off of this? He said, do not go off of it. You need to double your dose. I said, no, I'm not doing it. He said, I'm writing you a script. I said, I don't give a fuck. I ain't taking that shit. He goes, well, you need to. And I said, I'm not doing it, man. I said, I'm falling apart. I said, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, dude, I am falling fucking apart. I'm losing myself right now. Something is not right. This thing is doing something that is not good. And, so anyways, through my research, come to find out, it does all that to you. It takes you over and basically drives these parasites nuts in the heavy metals, and it like fucking fights with each other, and yeah, there's like a war inside, and that's exactly what was going on with me, and remember I said it like it was 2 weeks after talking to him, I just stayed on it. I think I was trying to wean off of it. I can't even remember, but I couldn't sleep. I wasn't sleeping. I didn't have any sleep. I was like, the only time I would sleep was I would literally go for days and then I'd just pass out, and I would have immediately fall into a nightmare, into another nightmare, and wake up in another nightmare, and wake up in another nightmare. And this went on for like 2 weeks, and it got worse and worse, and it just went on to where I was so exhausted. I was laid out on that porch because my boss, the buddy I work for now, my boss before his stroke, was living here, and he came home one day and saw me out there just sprawled out, and he goes, do I need to take you to the VA? And I said, man, I said, you need to help me. I said, I need help. I said, I'm going to die. And he took me up there, and I told him, I said, it's these pills. I'm telling you right now. And they laughed. They kept me in they kept me in this holding cell that was freezing cold, bright as fuck, with one little blanket. And I just curled up, and I just laid there shivering. And they left me there for hours. That was my intake. Nobody else was there in the VA. I've been up to that VA emergency medical center. Like, I've been up to it like a dozen times, but I've been up to it at least 4, 5, 6 times, where there's like maybe one other person in there. There's literally nobody in there, and there's staff, and they made me wait for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. So anyways, yeah, they made me, so they threw me in this room. I told them, I said, yeah, I need help. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to die. Something's going to kill me. Freddy's coming. Something in my dreams is coming. My nightmares are going to kill me. And I said, I can't function, can't I have sleep. And I'm going like this, and yeah, they left me in there for hours. And when they finally took me upstairs and into the psych ward, at the top level, and they're just laughing and jovial, and they're like, haha, Mr. Swank, what happened to you? And I'm sitting there like, bad, man. I'm dead man walking, and that's what so what I'm trying to tell you is that the VA actually tried to kill me. I mean, they now have like so many case studies of this happening to people dying from this Paxil that had bad bacteria and heavy metals in their system and parasites. So yeah, man, it's for real, dude. It's no joke, and that's why your story's important, because these experts, I had every expert that ever looked at me just laugh and deny my story and just call me a liar and just sit there with their arms crossed like, okay, dude, yeah, you done? Okay, well, I'm prescribing you this, and I said, I'm not taking the shit. You know what I mean? If you aren't finding, if you aren't going to scam me, fucking look deep inside me, prod me, poke me, put something up my asshole, if you ain't going to do something actively to try to fucking figure out what's wrong with me, then, you know, fuck off. So, you know, write me a prescription for a doctor who will, you know. And you're doing that when you're in a concussion, a major brain injury, with the parasites, with what you see me dealing with the parasites and the bacterial and the heavy metals all at the same time. You don't know how many times I ended up in the emergency room, and they said he's toxic. That I could hear the nurses, you know, on my intake. You know, they're taking you in on the stretcher, or you know, on the thing. You're laying down on this thing and they're pushing the bed, you know, and they're running your vitals and everything. And they're like, the doctor, what's wrong? You know, because you're coming in the emergency room and they're like, fucking, okay, is he dying? You know, and the nurse is like, he's toxic. I remember just hearing that. Like, I couldn't even, I was so, because I had people running me to the emergency room. I was in the car. They had to pull me out of the car and fucking throw me on stretchers and carry me into the emergency room. You know, they had the nurses out there, everybody else. I mean, it was a scene every time. It was bad. I thought I was dying. And then just to be told, to sit, like I said, to sit in these emergency rooms for hours and hours and hours, then finally get my story told, and then finally fucking be like, I have no clue, I was just fine, and all of a sudden it's just like I'm gonna die, and they laugh and they go, you know, oh, you're just having panic attacks. The fuck are you talking about? What is a panic attack? Oh, well, it's anxiety. You're just worried about shit. I'm like, no, I'm not. What the fuck are you talking about? I said, I ain't worried about fucking nothing. I said, the only thing I'm worried about is when it feels like I'm dying. I said, that's what I'm worried about. And you tell me that that's called a panic attack, which is anxiety, because I'm worried about something, but I'm having it. So I said, so what's starting the panic attack? I don't know. You're doing something wrong. You're fucking yourself up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, you know, it's because of this. Yeah, they just want to put you on pills, you know? Like, calm you down. I'm like, no, it's not that. No, come to find out, you know, it was brain related with concussions and parasites and bacterial and heavy metals, and that's why I'm so glad I stood my ground on their toxic meds, because, like I said, they almost killed me. But yeah, it is all related. But I just want to tell that story, show you my teeth, sort of go over that with you, give you a couple little things. I was getting ready to just lay down and relax. I don't know what I'm going to do. What time is it now? It's 6:50 now. Yeah, so I'm just going to relax, take it easy. I might go sit outside for a little bit. It's really nice and calm out, so maybe go sit outside. But yeah, take care of yourself, guys.